I'm here to introduce Michael. I don't get to talk in public very much, so I think I'll talk about myself for a while. So I started playing bridge at the Bergen Bridge Center in Teaneck, New Jersey in 1969. I was 10 years old. I feel very lucky to have learned my bridge there. There were a lot of great players who were eager to help a kid, including a bunch of people here tonight, in fact. I played for a few years and took to the game fairly well. And then when I was about 14, a very young Michael Campbell showed up. In a lot of ways, he was very similar to the Michael that we know. He was extremely polite. He was extremely nice. He was eager to learn about the game. I remember thinking, oh, I should sort of play with the kid a little bit to give him a thrill. I was about 14. After one of those sessions, he said, "Thank you, sir." But even though we were playing at the same club, we didn't really have much to do with one another. But I remember quite distinctly something that happened. At the Bergen Bridge Center, in addition to the normal duplicate games, there was also a cut-around imp game on Sunday afternoons. And the way it worked is that somehow two captains were chosen, I don't remember how, and then they chose the rest of their team. And with all due modesty, from the time I was about 16, I was the first one chosen. And then, in my senior year in high school, in what Simon and Garfunkel might have called a deep and dark December, someone chose Michael first. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, they're just doing that to give the kid a thrill. But that appeared to be a pretty important value at the Bergen Bridge Center, because in fact, I was never chosen first again. The torch has passed to a new generation. So, I left for college. I played some bridge, but didn't have much contact with Michael. But I followed his meteoric career from afar. And then, in fact, after college, I stopped playing entirely for about 15 years. And then, in the middle 1990s, I started to come to the Nationals again. And I became friendly with Michael almost as an opponent. The way things happened to work was we played a lot of matches against one another. And there was a particular Nationals in 1999, I believe, in Vancouver, where we came to meet about an hour before the afternoon session and sort of hang out. We had a good time. And I remember my friend Bobby Spellman saying, "Fleischer Campbell, that would be a good partnership." And I remember thinking, well, it's like saying you should be in a band with Paul McCartney. I mean, he would never agree to play with me. But in fact, about 4 years later, right here in Philadelphia, we played in the Spring Nationals. We did remarkably well. And we've been partners more or less since then, although he got tired of me for a while and showed the good sense to play with Crystal. But other than that, he's pretty much been stuck with me. I'll say he's the ideal partner. It's a rose book of Kyle. He's supportive. He's always fun to play with. He takes credit for all of his own errors and about half of mine. It's really perfect. But there's actually something I want to mention that's perhaps a little more subtle, and it's why we're here, which is that when Michael's at the table, there's a sense of decorum, and they're supposed to play bridge in the way it's supposed to be played. And we've been lucky enough to play in some very tense matches in the past few years. I would say that in general, in those sorts of matches, that people's behavior is often not what you would hope, but not at our table. Michael sets the tone, and in that way, he gives people their best selves at bridge. So, I'll just say one more thing, which is that you all know that there's a tradition in bridge that at the end of a match, the losers congratulate the winners. You played really well, you deserve it, I'm really happy for you. But what I'd like to tell you here is that when people say it to Michael, they actually mean it. And I mean it when I say that no one could deserve this award more.